The following Let's Play has been rated perfectly fine to watch. Any attempts to break the game are for entertainment value only. However, if any typos happen to be found, Mwahaha! Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game! When we last left off, we beat Donkey Kong once and for all. At least until Mario vs. Donkey Kong on the Game Boy Advance. And the game ended. Or at least I say it ended, because it's not true. And I pretty much told you that the game was over because I knew you wouldn't actually believe me. No, there is one more battle left. I actually find this kind of interesting. Because in most games where this situation happens, where you beat the final boss, the second phase of the final boss happens while you're in the same level, but here, it actually just brings you to the world map, and from there you go to the real final battle. Also, I'd like to point out that the song playing here on the tower is the only world map theme that doesn't appear in a level. Anyway, we are about to start the final battle, the real final battle, and it's going to be an epic final battle, and then we're going to watch the ending, which is why I have decided to have the theater border for this battle. Now, there's one thing I want to bring up before we start the final battle: DK's face. I want to tell you this because I do not plan to lose. I am hoping not to lose, because that will lose some of the epicness then. But whenever I start this stage, the monkey head there is going to start an evil grin. And I feel like I have to point this out because whenever I originally played the game, it took me a while before I realized that that was actually a grin. At first I thought it was like a platform appearing where the final battle is taking place. But no, he's grinning. That said, let us start the final battle. By the way, this probably has one of the most epic beginnings of a final battle on a Game Boy game. So, watch this epicness. And that is a pretty cool beginning of a final battle, wouldn't you agree? Ow. I better not die already. Oh, that's right. Anyway, so apparently Donkey Kong fell into a stash of mushrooms that made him go gigantic. You'll also notice that there is no more score, no more time. This is purely about the final battle, to beat DK once and for all, until I already made that joke. Goal is to just keep hitting him with these barrels. 2 hits is all it takes here, and then he's down. But I still want to jump so that those hands don't knock me down, because if I'm sitting there, the hands are going to knock me down and I'm going to be in danger. And then another phase of the battle starts. Now in this phase he changed his tactics a bit. He's going to squish you if you're at the bottom. Which I am unfortunately now at the bottom. Aww, I was really hoping to get through this fight without dying. Because going from start to finish is more epic, because restarting the stage, you don't get that epic intro. Also, you have to start completely over. I'll take this, thank you very much. Alright, what else is there? So yeah, no more time. This is simply about the battle. Technically, this would be stage 101 then. Wouldn't it be? So, that's pretty impressive. Thinking on it, I suppose the Super Mario Galaxies kind of have more stages than this game. I mean, if you count each collection of star, I mean, they bring you on different paths. So it's kind of like different stages. And you gotta really be careful. Eventually, after he realizes you're not on the ground, he'll smash the ground like that. And then now he's going to do this. Oops. By the way, if any of you have played Mario vs. Donkey Kong, this final battle should look a bit familiar. I have watched the final battle of... Oh, he's about to change tactics. He's going to just keep doing that, bring out a whole bunch of barbells, and he's just going to keep doing that in the hopes that you'll fall or get squished. He has failed. By the way, let me see if I can trigger this. There's a certain way to come down here and... Yeah, I triggered it. No, I didn't trigger it. Sometimes, I'm not sure how, but there's a certain way that I figured out where you can't stand on a certain nostril. Now I can stand on his whole nose, so I don't know what triggers it. I'm probably not going to demonstrate it. And I'll just let those go by. Now I'm not sure what makes this third phase different than the first two. Whoa, what the... That was interesting. Alright, let me back up. Ah, this'll work. Alright, which means he has one more hit. Feel like there's something else I should point out. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about how colorful this screen was. Oh goodness. I'm not that interested in talking about the color of the screen. Alright, enough playing around, it's time to finish this fight. Give me a barrel. Thank you. Oh, I wonder, there's something I wanted to try out. Unfortunately, it's not going to work like that. Let me back up. That didn't work. Let's try that again. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, and there's a good barrel up there, too. There we go. Alright. I want to find out what happens if I... Alright. Yeah, I didn't get seriously injured. Well, now he is beat for real. Oh yeah, and I gotta say, through that battle, there's one thing I wonder. That I think of. What if he took a crap? That'd be quite a big mess. Oh goodness, it's a mushroom. Huh, I was right, Pauline does have magic mushrooms. And this is basically how it transferred into Super Mario Brothers. And then Pauline left him. Well, now DK's under Mario's capture ability, and I kind of like that ending. It implies that it's going to go into a sequel, specifically Donkey Kong Jr. arcade game. And I actually thought back then that it meant that eventually this version of the game would also have a sequel, an extended version of Donkey Kong Jr., and that would have been pretty interesting. It never happened though. One thing I kind of wonder, this picture here, why is it that they're all taking a picture together and getting along? I mean, aren't they enemies? They just got done being brutal to each other, throwing barrels and stuff. Yeah, here they are getting along. Also, something really interesting. If I press the X button, it'll reverse the colors. Now, this is monochrome mode. This is supposedly how it looks on the Game Boy, but for some reason, it doesn't actually look like this on the Game Boy. It actually has the background and not with the colors reversed. So why the colors are reversed on the Super Game Boy, I'm not entirely sure. And oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to sit still so that the audience will play. Okay, so let me do that. But I didn't like reverse the colors or anything. It actually does that for some reason. By the way, is there something interesting about how this song sounds? Yeah, there is no way the Game Boy could have this sort of sound quality. No, this is another instance of the Super Game Boy taking advantage of the Super Game Boy sound, or the Super Nintendo sound chip, to produce better sound. In fact, I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison here. Let's start with the song you just heard, the version you just heard, the Super Nintendo version, and then I'll immediately follow it with a bit of what you hear if you were playing on the actual Game Boy. There's a pretty noticeable difference, don't you think? Anyway, I was kind of hoping that the characters down below would animate, but that's no big deal, because right after this video, I intend to have a special video. See, I didn't reverse the colors. A special video where I show off all the border animations. We will have, well, obviously these two don't animate, and I think there's another one. No, it's just these two, along with the Super Game Boy border, which I'm not even going to show. But this border, this border, this border, this border, this border, this border, and this border. I realized I didn't show off this one, but like I said, I'll be showing off all the borders in a special video anyway, because I haven't actually shown off all the special borders anyway. Or rather, there's no YouTube video, as far as I know, that shows off all the animations. So I am trying to do a soft reset of the game, and apparently once you reach the end of Donkey Kong, it doesn't have the option to soft reset. I wanted to show off one more thing before we end, so I'm going to reset the whole thing. Alright, I have reset it. So here we are with this border where everybody is watching me play the game with the curtains and the screen like it is a movie. And then this starts where everybody is watching Mario with the curtains and he's on stage. So what we have on screen is Mario performing for a theater, which itself is performing for a theater. How's that for a paradox? Anyway, that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else to say about this game. This game took a little bit longer to get through than I expected, largely on account the YouTube fiasco took a little less time to resolve itself than I thought it would. But it's over now. Now we're going to go back to full-time RPG Maker and Super Mario RPG Revolution. Oh wait, there is one more thing. Let's see here. If I press L L L R R R L L L R R R R R R R, I didn't do it right. Let me try that again. L L L R R R L L L R R R R R R R R. Okay, there it goes. I guess I just have to do it fast. Braves of Project SGB. Braves? What the heck is Braves? I mean, is it because this was kind of hard to program because they had to make it add color to black and white games on the fly? But anyway, yeah! Super Game Boy has credits! Secret credits! And there's Hori! If you recall, I mentioned that Hori made a controller for the Super Game Boy, and I wondered how some of the features actually worked for this thing, and now I know. Because Hori made the Super Game Boy, so of course they'd be able to make a controller that would interact with the Super Game Boy in a special way. But anyway, yeah, this game has secret credits. I had completely forgotten about the secret credits. Or, I think, completely? How do you completely forget something? Is it like... Because if you completely forgot something, you wouldn't even know you forgot it. But... Hold on a sec. Mechanical design and industrial design. What's the difference? But anyway, they're secret credits, and I'm not entirely sure how I found out about them originally. They're either in the Super Game Boy Player's Guide or they're in the manual, but how I found out about them now was I was looking up videos for Super Game Boy 2, and somebody actually had a video of Super Game Boy 2's credits, and they're accessed the exact same way. Different song, but more or less same credits, I think. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let's see. The border animations. The border animations video will be up eventually. What's going on is I need to have... For each border, I'm going to have a different game playing in the background, and my Game Boy game collection is in a pitiful state compared to what it used to be, so I need to reacquire some games before I can finish the video. Hopefully, it won't be too long before the border video gets finished. Well, speaking of borders, by the way, there are some Super Game Boy 2 border animation videos if you want to hunt them down. Let's see. I love that part. It's like, as soon as I remembered this credit sequence, and as soon as that part was coming up, it's like, oh wait, I know what's coming up, and there was the whistle, and it's like, yeah, I remember this. Oh, nostalgia. These credits are a bit long. Let's see what else I can do. Hey, there's a familiar name at the bottom there. I suppose I could, like, review the game? Sure. The game was fun. I mean, I'm not going to go into a full review, but the game was fun. I like the puzzle element of finding the keys. I like the traditional Donkey Kong element of just getting through an obstacle course. Those type of levels were fun, especially towards the end. Found it kind of interesting how many times I died. I mean, my gosh, I didn't expect to die nearly as much as I did. Oh, by the way, here's the final death counter. Final boss was especially cool, especially for a Game Boy game, and well, it obviously was cool because they reused it for Mario vs. Donkey Kong. After watching a video of the final battle from Mario vs. Donkey Kong, I think this final battle was better because, from what I can tell, the final battle of Mario vs. Donkey Kong is basically just phase 1 of this final battle. There's none of the extra movesets that he uses. He doesn't squish you between his fists. He doesn't, like, spam hits to the ground or anything like that. Come to think of it, Nintendo has a bit of issue with doing originality stuff in the 2000s and ups. Because, like, Super Mario Galaxy, the final battle with Bowser is pretty much the same battle as the other 2 battles with Bowser in the very same game. What's up with that? See you again on next project from Team Super Game Boy, March 1994. 1994 was a good year. At least for me. Ugh, credits were shorter than I remembered. And I still have other stuff to talk about. Let's see. This was a fun Let's Play overall, playing Donkey Kong on the Super Game Boy. I especially enjoyed how much I turned it into as much a Super Game Boy Let's Play as it was a Donkey Kong Let's Play. Showing off different things like the borders, all the borders, some of the special features, making the custom border, glitching the Super Game Boy. It was fun. I'm actually thinking about shifting my focus a little for my Let's Plays, like, along with the RPG Maker stuff, also move on to focusing some on like Super Game Boy and Game Boy games. Because from what I can tell, searching around on YouTube, there are very few Super Game Boy Let's Plays. And I mean, there's some Game Boy Let's Plays, but most of the Game Boy Let's Plays are emulated, and most of those are emulated in black and white. So I'd be able to throw in something special by doing Super Game Boy. Not for a little bit though. I might have the occasional Super Game Boy Let's Play or two coming up sometime, but there's still a few console games I want to get to. You know, I'm kind of tempted to do a speed run of this game because of how it keeps track of all your times for all the stages. Probably not though. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Yep, I got this list here of final words to say, and I have said all the final words that I can find. So, thank you for watching. See you again on next Let's Play. Or rather, see you again on the Let's Plays I'm in the middle of right now. It'll be a while before I start another Let's Play. In the middle of my RPG Revolution and just started SS World 2. But whatever. We'll get to new projects anyway, sometime. See you later.